Good evening. I'm Shivani Pandey. Let's begin with the top stories. 4 main parties agreed to sign pact on 8 provinces, meeting underway to end long-standing dispute on state restructuring. Country's economic growth to be limited to 3.04%, a fall by 1.54% in the aftermath of the earthquake. Climate change and terrorism topped the agenda on the second day of the G7 summit of economic powers in Germany. And Gaurika Singh shatters 3 more national records on the last day of the National Swimming Championship. The 4 parties have agreed to sign a pact on the formation of 8 provinces. The pact resolves the long-standing dispute between the parties over key consensus issues in constitution writing. The provinces are yet to be named by the Provincial Assembly. The Demarcation Committee will be formed to decide on the boundaries. The parties are also set to ink the pacts on a mixed electoral system. Direct election will comprise of 60% of the votes and 40% will be through proportional representation. The parties have also decided to form a constitutional court which will be in place for 10 years. The 30-party alliance is divided over the agreement between the 4 parties on the details of constitution writing. The alliance split after the small ethnic parties and the Tarai-based parties did not see eye to eye on the issue of provinces as agreed upon by the major parties. In the meeting held at the Unified Maoist Parliamentary Party office in Singhdarbar, some parties said an agreement that does not underscore the name and territory of the provinces wasn't acceptable to them. They said that to talk about federalism through a commission was a conspiracy to disregard them. They said they would even quit the Constituent Assembly if the 4 parties went ahead with the agreement. The parties said that the decision made by the 4 parties was not acceptable. They further said that if the 4 parties went ahead with the agreement anyway, it would be an agreement between the 4 parties alone. The smaller parties said that they would not accept any decision regarding the threshold on the proportional electoral system. Every year, the Education Ministry promises to make textbooks available to students all over the country ahead of the academic session, but the commitment has never been fulfilled on time. This year, too, even halfway through the academic session, children are yet to receive textbooks. 2 months after the classes began, the students in the far western region are yet to receive books. Schools in Darsula and Bazura are yet to receive books. In nearly all districts, economics and education books for class 8 and 9 are yet to be distributed. The booksellers say that only 500 sets of books have arrived in the remote Mugu district so far. Students in Myagdi's rural areas are also yet to receive their textbooks. Books have not even arrived in a district like Makwanpur, which is relatively more accessible. The situation is not any different in Kapilvastu as well as in Thanusha. In all districts in Koshi and Mechi zone, books are short by 25,000 sets. Classes 8, 9 and 10 in Udaipur are also yet to receive textbooks. In Kavre and Chitwan districts, books are in short supply. According to Janak Shiksha Samagri Kendra, only 11.8 million of the 14.5 million required books have arrived. 2.7 million books are yet to be distributed. Lack of budget and management weaknesses have hampered the delivery of the books. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you SMS us your opinion. Goals. Yesterday, we'd asked you, why do development projects get limited to inauguration alone? 34% of you selected option A, cheap popularity. 22% selected option B, political instability, and 44% of you selected option C, lack of result-oriented constitution. And our question for you today is, why haven't students received their textbooks on time? Options are A, delay in printing, B, management lapses, and C, commission gains. Voting for that question is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 8080 to share your opinion with us. In this context, we'd asked teachers of Makwanpur, Mugu, and Udaipur what kind of problems have they faced due to the delay in the availability of textbooks. Before we go for a short break, let's take a look at what they had to say.
भवन कहीं छैन, कक्षा कोठा छैन र पाठ्यपुस्तक भइदिएको भए उनीहरू घरमा गएर चाहिँ सो अध्ययन गरेर उनीहरूले आफ्नो ज्ञान आर्जन गर्न सकिन्छ।
पढ्ने रुचिमा पनि कमी आएको चाहिँ हामीले महसुस गरेका छौं। त्यही भएर पाठ्यपुस्तक जसरी पनि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई समयमा उपलब्ध गराउनु पर्ने, शिक्षकले पढाउँदाखेरि बुकमा नभएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि कतिपय होमवर्कहरू दिनलाई उनीहरूलाई गर्नलाई समस्या देखा पर्छ।
विद्यार्थीहरू अब अनियमित हुने, पढाउनको लागि समस्या हुने अनि विद्यार्थीहरूमाथि अब प्रेरणा नजाग्ने
अनि त्यो चेतीको किताबहरू पढ्दाखेरि त्यति प्रभावकारी पनि नहुने र विद्यार्थीलाई पनि ध्यान नजाने,
पाठ्यपुस्तकमा भएको विषयवस्तु नसिद्धिने अनि मूल्याङ्कन गर्दाखेरि पनि अन्तिममा परीक्षण प्रणालीमा पनि समस्या पर्ने।
किताबहरू एक दुईजना विद्यार्थीहरूको मात्रै छ, त्यही किताबहरूबाट हामीले सारा विद्यार्थीहरूलाई पढाइराखेका छौँ। अब यसो सरकारको ध्यान जाओस्।
पाठ्यक्रम पनि नभएको, पाठ्यपुस्तक पनि नभएकोले कक्षा 8 को चाहिँ अत्यन्त समस्याजनक छ।
विद्यार्थीहरू पठन पाठनमा पनि सहभागी हुने स्थिति छैन पाठ्यपुस्तक नभएको कारणले, र त्रैमासिक परीक्षा तुरुन्तै 1 महिनाभित्र आउने अवस्था भइरहेको अवस्थामा
शिक्षण शिक्षा क्रियाकलापपछि पुनः अभ्यास गर्नुपर्ने स्थिति रहन्छ र त्यो स्थितिमा विद्यार्थीहरूले पाठ्यपुस्तक अभावमा घरमा गएर पढ्ने अवस्था पनि पाउँदैनन्।
Sarai residents have been reeling under a massive heat wave as temperatures have soared as high as 42 degrees Celsius. The marketplace in Dhanusa, Mohatori and Sarlai look deserted as people have preferred to stay indoors due to the rising heat. Meanwhile, consumption of cold drinks in these districts is on the high. The doctors have advised people to take some precaution against the rising temperatures. Now, an international story. Climate change and terrorism are top of the agenda on the second day of the G7 Summit of Economic Powers in Germany. Chancellor Angela Merkel wants the group to reach an agreement on limiting global temperature rises. She is also calling on the G7 members to contribute to a fund for poor countries suffering the worst consequences of climate change. There are also talks on the threat from radical extremism with the leaders of Nigeria, Tunisia and Iraq. The summit is being held at the picturesque Schloss Almo Hotel in the Bavarian Alps. Leaders of the US, UK, Japan, France, Canada and Italy are attending the talks hosted by Ms. Merkel. We'll take another short break here. For more news, stay with us.
Reliance Cement, Lucky Jewelers, New Road, Kathmandu, Jagdamba Steel,
Jasmine Paints,
Kailash Vikas Bank Limited, Shikhar Shoe, in association with upcoming news.
The impacts of last month's earthquake are expected to be felt on the country's economy this year and in the years to come. In the current fiscal year, the country's economic growth is expected to be limited to 3.04%. As per statistics unveiled by the Central Bureau of Statistics, the GDP forecast made earlier is expected to be lower by 1.54%. Earlier, the gross domestic product was forecast at 4.58%. Time now for the sport update. Gaurika Singh shattered 3 more national records on the last day of the National Swimming Championship today. Gaurika had also set 3 national records on the opening day of the championship yesterday. She bettered her own record in the 200-meter freestyle and 100-meter backstroke. She has also set a new record in the 50-meter freestyle. The women's 800-meter freestyle was won by Army's Yam Kumari Ghale. Likewise, men's 50-meter butterfly was won by Manish Chitrakar, while Tej Bahadur Maji won the men's 400-meter freestyle. And before we wrap up, a reminder of the top stories. 4 main parties agreed to sign pact on 8 provinces, meeting underway to end the long-standing dispute on state restructuring. Country's economic growth to be limited to 3.04%, a fall by 1.54% in the aftermath of the earthquake. Climate change and terrorism top the agenda on the second day of the G7 Summit of Economic Powers in Germany. And And Gaurika Singh shatters 3 more national records on the last day of the National Swimming Championship. And that's all we have for you. Up next is the Nepali news. Good night.